My first installment of this series was originally planned to be a video about Superman and his tumultuous box office reception, but with Hogwarts Legacy releasing recently and the controversy stuck to it like a dog turkey stuck to your favorite shoe, I decided this took precedent. For weeks, as more and more news around this story stacked up, it became impossible for it not to dominate my thoughts, conversations with friends, and on one troubling night, my dreams, and Sofia Vergara and I debated the matter in the hot tub on the moon. So, to answer the titular question, does buying Hogwarts Legacy make you a bad person? No. I've been asking myself this question and taking it from as many angles as I can think of, and every time the answer comes back no. But to reach this conclusion, we will have to explore each of these questions in their entirety and give answers. First question to answer: why would buying Hogwarts Legacy make you a bad person? Well, unless you've been under a rock or, God forbid, have a life. A couple of years ago, J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter books and the creator of the Wizarding World, started making troubling anti-trans statements, and when the community informed her that the statements were not very popular, instead of issuing an apology and telling everyone they could have a trip to Diagon Alley on her dime, like any decent person would do, she instead chose to double down and become the biggest troll the Harry Potter franchise has seen since the Philosopher's Stone. Now, does this make JK a bad person? Abso-freaking-lutely. Everyone is entitled to feel how you feel, but when your words are disturbing others and you are informed as such, you stop talking. So yes, JK is definitely not a nice person. So what does buying this game have to do with JK? Now, I've been doing a little research on this part. JK apparently gets a bit of royalty from every purchase made by officially released Harry Potter licensed merchandise. A hefty 15 of the total cost. So that led me down a rabbit hole to her net worth, which at the time of writing was around over 800 UK pounds, which is roughly like $1.5 billion, and that's before the game is released. But WB and Portkey Games have distanced themselves from JK and her statements in support of the trans community. Now, whether she gets paid anything from this particular product or not has yet to be verified, but will that really affect anything? Even if the game tanks and nobody buys a single copy, she's still one of the richest novelists of all time. Now, on the other hand, if she does get paid any money, I can understand the initial reaction, oh, we're essentially paying someone to hate. But after everything I've read, nowhere does it say the money she has earned has gone towards anti-trans movements. But, like I said earlier, she already has all the money she would ever need to run any number of political campaigns. I mean, she won't get any richer or poorer from the outcome of this game. Whereas, where do the game developers stand in this? Well, like I said, Portkey Games have already stated they are allies in this controversy. The game even allows for the creation of trans people in it. But what happens if the game flops? Well, seeing how the studio was created to make Harry Potter games, they'll probably be canned. I'm no game developer or even close to being in the industry, but from what I've observed in gaming trends in the past few years, if a game doesn't live up to expectations, entire teams of people have been laid off. So do we buy it just so the game developer keeps the job? Not if you don't want to, but I will say keep this in mind. This has been years of work for a dedicated team of people, actual humans with families and bills to pay, to put their hard work and dedication into something that, personally speaking, looks great and honestly like a blast to play. They couldn't have quit or stormed off the project after JK revealed her thoughts. They have already been tasked to making this game. Personally, they didn't agree, but professionally, they still had a job to do. Portkey Games themselves aren't the issue. But even when a game developer is the issue, what is the outcome? Anybody remember what happened to Activision Blizzard when all that troubling news came out a couple of years ago? Were Overwatch servers abandoned? Did it stop COD games from being published? No. They fired the guy responsible, renamed the Cowboy, and kept it pushing. Not to say that they are off the hook, but how can we punish one game studio for being required to create a game set in the universe of a problematic person when the studio in question is just as disgusted with their statements? It's like not going to your local Papa John's pizza because of those racist comments the former CEO said. It won't hurt him. It's just going to get that particular store shut down, and all the hardworking people at that location will have to get another job elsewhere, only hurting people caught in the crossfire. So, I want the game, but I feel bad about buying it. Where does that leave me? Well, this has been the toughest part for me. I listen to a lot of philosophy books, which is why I think I could make a segment on my goofy Let's Play channel about philosophy, and came across something pretty relevant. In Michael Schur's book, How to Be Perfect, in chapter 10, this sandwich is morally problematic, but it's also delicious. Can I still eat it? It goes over, as you imagine, the Chick-fil-A CEO statement against gay marriage, and does a good job explaining how no matter what we love, something is bound to be problematic in our lives, and it's okay. We should accept the good with the bad. If you personally choose to, you should know the problematic nature of the creator with the good product they have produced. I call it the Greendale philosophy. In an episode of the sometimes hit series Community, Shirley's husband, played by Malcolm Jamal Warner, tells her, "You took me back because while I was gone, somehow you learned to accept the bad with the good." And to which Jeff responds, "Oh, that's the Greendale effect." I laugh when I hear it, but the more I thought about it, the more it honestly applies to a lot of things today. Every popular celebrity, except Brendan Fraser, has said something or the other to offend one group of people in some way. And I feel like if everyone lived with this philosophy, then we could live a happier life. Humans are not perfect. But are we obligated to stay away from things that bring us joy because of problematic people? If that was the case, honestly, you wouldn't even know about this news, because that means you have to stay off Facebook and Twitter and off of any smartphones in general from how most are made. I say, if you feel bad about purchasing the game, then donate to organizations that help support the LGBTQ community. If you don't want the game because you don't like the gameplay, not a Harry Potter fan, or JK comments are just too much to even look past, then that's fine. You have that right. But on that same point, the other ones that want to enjoy the game for the opposite of those same reasons I just gave should be able to enjoy it without grief. The game developers, the people selling at stores, and the people that choose to buy it have nothing to do with the anti-trans statements or transphobic tendencies unless they personally express as such. When you go online and spill hate speech into a person's stream until you make them cry, you're now becoming the very bully you're trying to take down. What I think, keep the fight where it belongs. Focus on the person who was actually speaking the hate speech out into the world, and not the people unfortunate to get caught in the crossfire and became collateral damage. But that's just my philosophy, and the point of philosophy is to generate debate on a topic. Leave what you think in the comments below. I know I'll be playing the game and uploading it here on this channel, so tune in to see if the game is even any good.